My brother used my house for his wedding, then showed up with a moving truck. I had my lawyer waiting in the driveway. My brother asked to use my backyard for his wedding. I said yes. 2 weeks later, he pulled up with a moving truck and started unloading furniture into my garage. He said mom and dad told him he could move in. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I just called my lawyer, who was parked at the end of the driveway before the second box hit the ground. My brother Keith has never owned anything. He's 34. I'm 37. I bought my house 6 years ago. 3-bedroom, big yard, quiet neighborhood. I saved for the down payment by living in a studio for 4 years. Nobody helped me. Nobody co-signed. It's mine. Keith bartends, picks up odd jobs, crashes on couches. He proposed to a woman named Jess in March. Nobody knew where they'd live after the wedding because neither had a lease. When Keith asked if they could use my backyard for the ceremony, I thought he was just trying to save money on a venue. He said it would be small, 40 people. They'd bring everything in and clean everything up. I said fine. The wedding was on a Saturday in September. It was not small. 83 people showed up. Someone drove a truck across my lawn and left ruts in the grass. The caterer used my kitchen without asking and left grease stains on the counters. The DJ blasted music until midnight and 2 neighbors complained. I didn't say anything because it was Keith's wedding day. They said they'd clean up Sunday. They didn't. I spent Monday hauling trash bags, folding chairs, and scrubbing my kitchen. The tent company told me Keith hadn't paid the remaining balance and asked me to cover it. I said no. That should have been the end of it. 2 weeks later, a moving truck backed into my driveway. Keith jumped out. Jess was in the passenger seat. My mom was in a car behind them. Keith opened the truck and started pulling out a couch. I walked outside. What are you doing? Moving in. Mom said she talked to you. I looked at my mom. She was getting out of her car with a casserole dish. I told Keith you had that extra bedroom sitting empty. It makes sense while they get on their feet. You didn't ask me. I didn't think I needed to. You're his brother. Keith was already carrying boxes toward the garage. Then I pulled out my phone and called Raymond. Raymond is my lawyer. He's also my neighbor. He lives 4 houses down. I've been using him for contract work related to some rental properties I was looking into. He picked up on the first ring. Ray, I need you at my house right now. He was in my driveway in under 3 minutes, still in his weekend clothes. He walked up to Keith, who was carrying a box marked kitchen stuff, and said, "Hi, I'm Raymond Estes. I'm the homeowner's attorney. Can you stop what you're doing for a moment?" Keith put the box down. "Who are you?" "I just told you. I'm his lawyer. Are you aware that you don't have the homeowner's permission to move into this property?" Keith looked at me. "You called a lawyer? On your own brother? You showed up with a moving truck without asking me." Mom stepped forward. "This is ridiculous. He's family. You don't need lawyers for family." Raymond handed Keith a card with his firm's information. "If anything is moved into this house without written authorization from the owner, it will be treated as unauthorized occupancy. Under state law, once belongings are established in a residence, it can take 60 days to legally remove someone. I'd advise you not to bring another item inside." Mom's face went white. "You'd threaten your own brother with eviction before he even moves in? He wasn't invited to move in. You told him he could. My house, not yours." Keith kicked the box. "I just got married. I don't have anywhere to go and you're standing here with a lawyer. You had 83 people in my backyard that I'm still cleaning up from. You didn't pay the tent company, and now you show up with a truck because Mom said so." Raymond stepped in. "I'd recommend loading everything back into the truck. If any belongings are left on the property, we'll document them and proceed accordingly." Keith looked at Jess. She was standing by the truck with her arms crossed. She didn't say a word. He loaded everything back in. It took 40 minutes. Mom stood by her car the entire time. She didn't help. When the truck pulled out, she walked up to me. "I hope you're proud of yourself. I'm proud of my house, Mom. The one I paid for. The one nobody helped me buy. And the one nobody's moving into without asking." She left without saying goodbye. Keith didn't speak to me for 3 weeks. When he finally called, it wasn't to apologize. It was to ask if I'd co-sign a lease for an apartment. One said no. He called me selfish. I said, "You backed a moving truck into my driveway without a conversation. You don't get to call me selfish." He hung up. Mom still brings it up. Last week she said, "You embarrassed Keith in front of his wife." I said, "He embarrassed himself. I just had a witness." Keith and Jess are living with her parents now. The ruts in my lawn finally grew back in. The tent company sent the unpaid balance to collections under Keith's name. Raymond and I had a beer on my porch last weekend. He said in 20 years of practice, he'd never served a cease and desist in flip-flops. I told him it was the most useful thing anyone's ever done in my driveway. He laughed. I didn't. The garage is empty, the guest room is empty, and the deed still has one name on it. Mine.
Click the link on the homepage to watch the full follow-up for free.